So picture this. JPMorgan Chase, one of the absolute titans of Wall Street, is staring down a problem, a multi-trillion-dollar problem that even their sharpest traders just couldn't crack. This is the story of how they built a groundbreaking AI to do what humans no longer could.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number. A really, really big number, $4 trillion. I mean, that's a figure that's almost impossible to wrap your head around, right? But it's at the very heart of this story. So, what is it? Yep, that's the value of the trades JP Morgan has to handle. Not just once, but every single year. Think about that scale. It's just massive. And the pressure to get every single one of those trades perfect, well, it's absolutely insane. But here's the thing. By around 2018, it was becoming painfully obvious that even their world-class traders were fighting a losing battle. They were being overwhelmed, the whole game had changed, the market was just different, and human gut feeling, it just wasn't enough anymore. So let's dig into that. What was the trillion-dollar problem exactly? Well, before this AI came along, you have to imagine these modern trading floors. It was like controlled chaos. They were just struggling to keep their heads above water with how fast everything was moving. It was a total mismatch. On one hand, you had the old guard, right? Human traders running on intuition, backed by these old-school algorithms that just followed a rigid script. But on the other hand, you have this new reality, a lightning-fast electronic market where you have to make calls in milliseconds. The two they couldn't coexist anymore.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because it wasn't just one thing. It was three massive pressures all hitting at once. First, the market was fragmented. We're talking liquidity scattered across more than 60 different places. No human can track that. Second, regulators were cracking down with new rules like MiFID II, demanding speed and paperwork that the old systems just choked on. And third, you've got these nimble little fintech startups nipping at their heels. It was literally a perfect storm. The old way was dead.
So JP Morgan's backed into a corner. What do? They don't just patch the old system. Nope. They decided to build something completely new from the ground up. And that's where we meet the hero of our story, an AI they called LOXM. Now, LOXM isn't just a faster calculator. It's a thinking machine. The secret sauce is something called reinforcement learning. What that means is, it doesn't just follow a set of instructions, it actually learns from experience, from trial and error. It's kind of like how you learn to play a video game, right? You try things, you fail, you get better. LOXM does that millions of times in a simulation, constantly leveling up its strategy.
And I love this part because LOXM isn't one single AI, it's a team of 4 AIs working together. It's pretty cool. You've got the orchestrator, that's the team captain, setting the big picture strategy. Then you have the specialists. These are the experts who get their hands dirty executing the trades. You've got a monitor agent, basically doing quality control, watching over everything. And crucially, a compliance agent, making sure every single move is 100% by the book.
Okay, so building a thinking, trading AI team, yeah, that's not cheap. JP Morgan placed a huge but very deliberate bet here. A bet on what the future of finance was going to look like. So let's talk numbers. Over 6 years, the price tag came to $310 million. And look, this wasn't just for some software. This was a massive strategic investment. We're talking new infrastructure, poaching the smartest people on the planet, and getting ready to roll this thing out everywhere.
So, was that $310 million bet worth it? Well, how does $180 million in savings sound? And that's not a one-time thing. That's every single year.
I mean, just look at this comparison. That initial $310 million investment, it looks tiny next to the $180 million they're saving annually. You do the math, the whole thing paid for itself in a little over 2 years. That's just an incredible return. And it wasn't just about saving money either. The system delivered a 15% boost in how fast it could execute trades. Now, 15% might not sound like a lot, but in the world of high-frequency trading, where every millisecond is gold, that's a massive leap. It means better deals, faster service, and happier clients. Okay, so you've built this amazing piece of tech. You're done, right? Not even close. Now comes the really hard part, getting people to actually use it. And we're not just talking about skeptical traders, but also the regulators who watch every single move. And they were smart about it. They didn't just turn it on and hope for the best. They rolled it out super carefully over several years. First, a small pilot project in 2018, just to prove it worked. Then, they ran it in what they called shadow mode. So the AI was making decisions right alongside the humans, but not actually spending any money.
It was like training with the safety on. Only when it proved beyond a doubt that it was better did they give it the keys to the car. And here's a brilliant move. Instead of firing all their traders, they retrained them. They put them through this 3-phase program to basically turn them from skeptics into super users. They learned how to talk to the AI, how to feed it the right data, and even how to supervise its training. They went from being the tool to being masters of the tool.
And what about the regulators? Well, they tackled that with total transparency. From day one, they were in constant communication. They built the system so it could explain why it made every single decision. No black box mystery AI. And they let regulators come in and kick the tires with tough reviews every quarter. They built trust, not just tech.
So, when you put it all together, what do you get? LOX wasn't just a way to save some money. It became a genuine, long-term killer advantage for JPMorgan in the market.
And this is how they did it. It's what's called a data moat. It's a beautiful, virtuous cycle. The AI gets better at trading, which attracts more clients. More clients mean more trading data, and all that new data makes the AI even smarter. See the loop? It just keeps feeding itself, getting stronger and stronger, creating a lead that smaller firms just can't catch up to.
But maybe, just maybe, the biggest win of all wasn't even LOXM itself. It's that the project created a template, a playbook. Now, whenever another team at JPMorgan wants to build an AI project, they have all these reusable parts and a roadmap to follow. It's made them 25 to 40% faster at innovating across the entire company. That's a game changer.
So in the end, this is way more than just a story about a cool trading bot. It's really a masterclass in how you bring a revolutionary technology into a place that's super high stakes and full of rules. LOXM proved that AI is ready for Wall Street, which really makes you wonder, right? What other huge, complex industry is next on the list?